Willie Waffle standing by. Good morning, Willie. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How you guys doing today?
It's Friday. Yeah.
That's the best day of the week, isn't it? Today is full of all sorts of anticipation of all the really great things you're going to do tomorrow, or it's payday.
You know, if you're right, it could be payday, not for us. Though, if you're one of these people that's kind of a glass half empty or glass half full, but if you're one of the half empty people, oh yeah, it's Friday. Before you know it, it'll be Sunday night. Right? You begin.
Thursday, the end of the week. So.
Oh yeah, Thursday. Before you know it, I'm back to work on Monday. It's like, give me a break. My life is terrible. But it is Friday. A house without a clock in its walls, or with a clock in its walls. I saw this preview. This looks kind of scary.
Well, it's really meant to be like a kid's horror movie with some comedy. And, it stars Jack Black, who is now the big kahuna of kiddie movies. And he plays this eccentric uncle who has to bring in his orphaned nephew. The mother and the father have passed away. And, of course, it's not a normal house. Why, it's a crazy house because Jack Black is a warlock. And now he's going to make this kid into some sort of homeschooled Harry Potter and teach him the ways of wizardry and warlockness. And, of course, they have to find this clock that's in the walls of this crazy house because the clock could mean the end of humanity.
Wow. I have to tell you, the preview looks pretty good.
It's goofy and it's silly, and I think it works a lot better for kids. And like I said, there's some scary stuff here, but not enough to give any kids nightmares or scar them for life or something crazy like that. Just enough to kind of welcome them into the Halloween season. But the problem is, you feel like the whole time they're really trying to build this up to be a trilogy rather than a standalone movie. So you see all those hints being dropped throughout here, and I think we've become so used to seeing it and so familiar with it that kind of takes away from the movie. I'd say 2.5 waffles. It's okay. It's okay.
2.5. All right. There's also one out there called Life Itself. And it's just about having kids, having babies.
It's about everything about life, having kids, having babies, falling in love, taking care of your grandkids, all of it. And it's written by Dan Fogelman, who's the guy who writes NBC's This Is Us. And it feels like the whole time he's trying to prove, I can make you cry at home, and now I can make you cry at the movies too. And it's just so mawkish, and it's so melodramatic, and all the pieces don't really fit together as we see all these different little stories being told, and it feels like the movie wants to have some big philosophical statement to make, but it has nothing to say.
What do you give this?
I'm going to say 1 waffle. It was really disappointing, especially with the cast. I mean, my God. I mean, Oscar Isaac's in here, Olivia Wilde, Antonio Banderas, even Annette Bening and Samuel L. Jackson show up.
Wow. By the way, the movie The House with a Clock in Its Walls, Willie was saying it'd be okay for kids. Do you have an age on that? It is only rated. It's only rated PG, by the way. So.
Yeah, and I'm thinking 8, 9, 10 years old, right in that range there. I think that is where they're going to get into it. I think there's some intense moments that are going to freak out smaller kids.
All right, there is the other one that is, and it is playing in the area, and that is Michael Moore's new movie about America, about President Trump, called Fahrenheit 11/9. What do you think? What do you think?
It turns out Michael Moore hates Donald Trump.
I figured this would be the big discovery in the movie.
Yes, it would be. And he made an entire movie about it. And if you know Michael Moore's work, I mean, Fahrenheit 9/11, which is what this title is taking off on, or the Sicko movie, or Roger and Me. I mean, he's kind of the rabble rouser. He's that anti-establishment guy who wants to tear down everybody in power and everybody that he hates. And he really hates Donald Trump. And he's trying to just say everything that's bad about Donald Trump and how we got to this point and how America just was somehow delusional to vote for him. And it just really is speaking to the choir. I mean, if you like Donald Trump, you're not going to want to see this movie.
If you like Donald Trump, it's a -10 waffles. The most negative waffles ever in the history of the world.
Worst waffles.
If you hate Donald Trump, then what do you give it?
If you hate Donald Trump, I mean, I thought it was like 1.5 waffles. I mean, It really feels a little disjointed and not really focused. You know, he goes off on this whole thing about the Flint, Michigan water crisis, which I thought was really good. It should have been its own movie.
You know what I find interesting about this, Willie, though, is there a need for Michael Moore anymore? Because if you watch Trevor Noah, or you watch the late shows, or you watch, HBO and Showtime, they all have a show. There's that circus, the political circus show. This stuff we are inundated with it. I kind of feel like this movie's going to bomb because it's just so prevalent out there. You can get it everywhere.
Well, no, you're right. It feels like it's behind the times.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're right. Everything that's been said in this movie has been said.
Right.
Who's going to pay to see it?
What's the point?
Then that's why these shows that are on, whether it's the circus or whatever, these political shows that are still on TV, they're produced weekly. They edit things down and master it on Saturdays and air them on Sundays because things change so quickly. This movie's going to be so outdated. But, again, if you're really hyper anti-Trump, you're probably going to want to go to see it.
Oh, yeah, it speaks to the choir.
Yeah. All right, Willie, thanks, man. It's wafflemovies.com. Enjoy your weekend.
Oh, I'll try. I hope you guys have a good one, too.
We'll do our best. All right, thanks so much.